Hello students, myself Avanish Srivastava. I am working as a assistant professor in Akgec college. Here I am cover the topic virtualization in cloud computing, the roles, the importance, the significance, why we are using the virtualization, the type of the virtualizations. In this topic we will cover all the main points in virtualizations. First, what is virtualizations? Virtualizations is a large umbrella of technologies and concepts that are meant to provide an abstract environment, whether virtual hardware or an operating system to run applications. Virtualizations main point is different type of virtualizations is to be existed in the cloud computing: network virtualization, server virtualization, hardware virtualization, software virtualization. And how can we implement the concept of virtualization in cloud computing? Virtualization allows the creation of secure, customizable and isolated execution environment for running applications. These environments are called virtual because they simulates the interface that is expected by a guest. Means the virtualization is a concept by which we can create the hardware, the software, the network securities, the network security, the load balancing, all the main points we can create in the distributed computing environment for to enhance the capability of computational capability in distributed environment. The major causes for the diffusion of hardware virtualization solutions are increased performance and computing capability, underutilized hardware and software resources, lack of space, green initiatives, rise of administrative costs. Why means what are the issues why we are using the virtualization, why we are using the hardware virtualizations in this current scenario. In this, in time to time, in time to time, the technology is to be increases, the technology is to be increases, how we can improve, how we can better provide the better solutions for the customers. The customer the customer can get the solutions in a fastest way using using the different technologies like cloud computing, big data, neural networks, and and uh, uh, neural networks, big data, and uh, uh, a lot of in this scenario we can we can minimize the cost, we can minimize the cost of the we can minimize the cost, the cost of means administrative cost means how it is very tough to manage all the networks, all the systems in a in a different geographic locations, or in a centralized way. Okay. And it is a very it is very tough, or it is very tough to manage and controlling, and means the security and the how can we can manage the security security of different systems which is located in a different places. uh, we can minimize the cost, we can eliminate in time to time the system is to be very compact, and the system is the particular service provider, who is who having the major role in cloud computing. All these service provider having the challenge, how can they provide the solutions to the customers, or when in a fastest way. which type of technology they are using, how they are how they can ensure the security services, the infra services, the software services, the network services, the platform services. That is these are the benefits, that is increased performance, and we can using the virtualization concept we can increase the performance and computing capacity, underutilized hardware and software resources, lack of space, green initiatives, and rise of administrative costs. Next, in a virtualized environment, there are the three major components. So, one is guest, second is virtualization layer, and third is host. Who is the guest? These are the main key, they are the key main major role in cloud, in virtualization concept in cloud computing. Well, first is guest. Who is the guest? The guest represent the system components that interacts with the virtualization layer rather than with the host. Second, virtualization layer. The virtualization layer is responsible for recreating the same or a different environment whether the guest will operate. Host, the host represent the original environment where the guest is supported to be managed. The host, there are the three main components in virtualization environment, that is first is guest, second is virtualization layer, third is host. We can explain in these three major components in a better way in next slides. That is the virtualization reference model. You can better understand in guest, virtual image, applications, and virtualization layer. There are three. There are three. There are the three major components in which guest, in which mention virtual image, applications. A lot of applications to be there, and virtualization applications, virtualization layer, virtual hardware, virtual storage, virtual networking, virtual server, virtual, each and everything is to be in virtualization. In virtualization layer, all the softwares and the virtual softwares and the virtual hardwares and virtual storage, each particular services is to be available on different machines. This machine is known as virtual machines, and the monitoring, and how can we monitor all these different systems. We can introduce a new concept, that is means known as virtual machine monitor. It is responsible to manage the services which is the different services which is given to different machines. And third component is host, that is physical hardware, physical storage, physical networkings. Means the system. First, the first important, that is a host. It is a machine in which the particular operating systems or particular physical device, physical hardwares, and physical hardware and physical storage, physical network is to be available, in which we can create the virtual machines, the virtual machines, virtual network, virtual server, virtual platforms through the software on different machines, and these machines is known as virtual machines, and we can manage and we can manage the control. How can we can balance the load among the virtual machines, who is the main, who is the server, and who is the who is the client and who is the server. We can implement the how these different virtual machines, how they can coordinate to accomplish a particular task. It will be done by the virtual machine monitors. Characteristics of virtualized environment. Number one, increased security, managed execution. What are the characteristics of environments, virtualized environment? First is increased security, managed execution, sharing, aggregation, emulation, isolations. These are the characteristics of virtualization. through the virtualization we can increase our the computational computational power, and these different machines is to be located these different virtual machines is to be located in a different geographical locations. We can give the facility of security for securing the data, for securing the data, the securing the softwares, the securing the environment in which the different users are doing their tasks. All these platforms, infra, networks, monitoring, each and everything is to be done via the software, and we can facilitate, we can give these different services on the different machines. Second is managed execution, portability. These are the another characteristics of the virtualized environment. Second, managed execution and portability. Taxonomy of virtualization techniques. Here the some taxonomy which are using in virtualization techniques. The first classification, discrimination against the service or entity that is being emulated. Virtualized is mainly used to emulate execution environment, storage and networks. There are the there are the two main important in virtualization, that is virtual process and virtual systems. Virtual system, virtual process, and that is virtualize. If we are talking about the virtualization, then there are the some main pattern is to be patterns to be there are some main topic is to be here, that is storage virtualization, network virtualization, security virtualization, server virtualizations. In these different virtualization techniques, we will provide the facility, we will provide all the facility in a specific manner. Within these two categories, we can list various technologies that offer the guest a different type of virtual computational environment, bare hardware, operating system resources, low level programming language and application libraries. There are the two type of virtualizations, that is execution virtualization and hardware level virtualization. Hypervisor, the main important point in the virtualization concept is hypervisor. So, hypervisor, what is hypervisor? A fundamental element of hardware virtualization is the hypervisor, a virtual machine monitor. It is also known as VMM. It is a software by which we can manage the different virtual machines on these different virtual machines. The different platforms to be available, how how a particular services, how a particular process is to be executed through the on which platforms, and this platform is to be available on virtual machines. Each virtual machines have a unique has a unique ID, okay, and means there are the two major types of hypervisor, type 1 and type 2 hypervisor. Type 1 hypervisor run directly on top of the hardware, therefore that take the place of the operating system and interact directly with the ISA interface exposed by the underlying hardware and the emulate this interface in order to allow the management of guest operating system. This type of hypervisor is also called a native virtual machine, since it runs in native or on hardware. So, means the hypervisor, it is a two type of, here it is mentioned that it is two type of. First is type 1 and type 2. Type 1 hypervisor runs directly on the top of the hardware. Second is second hypervisor require the support of an operating systems, and these different operating system, these different virtual machines having the different operating systems. maybe single operating system, maybe each virtual machines having the same virtual operating system or different operating systems. Means someone is using Ubuntu operating system, someone using Mac OS, someone using Microsoft operating system, someone is using Android operating systems. How can this particular, how can a process is to be executed on the same process to be executed? It is a very challenge for virtual machine monitor to execute a particular service on these through the different virtual machines on which the different operating system is to be available, different platform is to be available. In hypervisor, here you are seeing that this hypervisor means VM. There are the lot of different type of virtual machines, set of virtual machines, VM, and second is virtual machine manager, third is operating system, fourth is hardware. In there are the two type of the, that is hypervisor is mentioned, type 1 and type 2. In a one hypervisor, in a one type of hypervisor, you can see that the particular virtual machine is to be the particular virtual machine is to be interact with the operating system through the virtual machine monitor. And in another architectures, different virtual machine is to be interact through the hardware via the virtual machine monitor. These are the main difference among the type 1 and type 2. Type 1 and type 2, these are the interfaces. They are the two type of interfaces in here. One is ISA and second is ABI. There are the two type of interfaces. ISA is this interface lies between the virtual machines and virtual machine manager, and ABI interface is to be available between the virtual machine manager and operating system. Okay. Here you can explain this type of virtual machines in a this type of virtual hypervisor in a broad way. Means virtual machines instances means a lot of number of virtual machines, a set of virtual machines, and these set of virtual machines or number of virtual machines is known as virtual machine instances. And what are the role or characteristics, or what are the job responsibility of the virtual machine monitor? Means dispatcher and interpreter routines and allocators, load balancer. These are the responsibility or duty of virtual machine monitors. Here there are some main points in hypervisor. There are some bullet points is to be mentioned in hypervisor. Conceptually, a virtual machine manager is internally organized as described in a pictures 3.8. Three main modules: dispatcher, allocators, and interpreter coordinate their activity in the order to emulate the underlying hardware. This dispatcher constitutes the entry point of the monitor and reroutes the instructions issued by the virtual machine's instance to one of the two other modules. The allocator is responsible for deciding the system resources to be provided to the virtual machines. There are the different type. A particular process to be executed through the data and the files, and the file is where this particular file is to be available, and this particular file is to be shared on which to which virtual machines. To allocation a particular file or to allocate a process to specific virtual machines. This specific virtual machine is responsible to execute the process, and the status of the process, and all the resources which is allocate which is allocated to particular virtual machines for executing this particular process, the history and the allocation and deallocations of the resources and the file and the data. um, uh, uh, it is mainly responsible of the virtual machines monitor. It is in these are the terms it is known as allocators. The interpreter module consists of the interpreter routines. These are the okay students. These are the different topics. That is hardware assisted virtualizations, full virtualizations, para virtualization, partial virtualization. Different categories of virtualization is to be here. And in next in next topic we will discuss the types of the virtualizations, full, para and partial or hardware assisted virtualization in a deeply I will explain you in the next topic. Thank you, sir.